I don't know what she's going to do. But I have faith. And she's been with us for a very long time. Do you need anything else? Yeah. Okay.
And I've been with Reverend Deborah in Innerlight for over 8 years now. Way back when she was doing her Tools for Living talk in some back room at Unity. And from the very first moment I heard her speak, I knew that what she was saying was truth. And that was how I wanted to live my life. But those messages that Deborah was saying were very different than the ones I grew up with and that were programmed in my brain. So I knew that in order to get to this new place I wanted to be, I had to completely saturate myself with these new messages to override the old messages that were programmed into me. I have a degree in computer systems engineering. I did that for 20 years. I know firsthand if you can program messages in, you can program them out. So 8 years ago, I started listening to Deborah's tapes over and over and over again and completely saturating myself with these new messages and creating a new foundation. And this was the foundation that I needed in order to completely change careers from engineering to the healing arts, which is an incredibly scary thing to do. And I'll tell you that the key messages that I used during this transition was, you don't need to know where you're going to know that you're headed in the right direction. And my job was to stay open, and the next step would be presented to me. And so I used these messages as I left my job. Then I found myself in massage school, then nutrition school, and then before you know it, I was gathering up a team of highly talented people to create a video on nutrition called Sweet Fire. And I have a vision of creating 5 more of these. So, as I continue to do each next step, it is becoming clearer and clearer what Spirit's plan is for me in order that I can live my life with drive and passion, and at the same time best serve humanity and still pay my bills. But in order to live this life, I have to continually saturate myself. And this can't be done by just coming to church once a week. This has to be done on a continual, daily basis. Because some of these next steps that come to me, there's no way I can do them on a weak foundation. It's just way too scary. So what I want to share with you is how I saturate myself. So, number 1, I get a tape subscription. And it's the best investment I do. I keep the tapes in the car. And every time I run an errand or do anything, I pop in a tape and I get a little 10-minute hit of either Reverend Deborah or whatever incredible musical inspiration that she's got going on. I mean, Beverly, hello. So that's the first thing I do. The next thing I do is in the morning, I put in Valerie's CD. I get on the floor. I do 10 to 15 minutes of stretching and yoga, and I breathe in her messages. And then right before I go to bed, I have the Sacred Yes by my bed. And this is particularly important to do, because, and I read 10 minutes of that right before I go to sleep. Now, it's particularly important because when you sleep, you're really integrating these messages into your subconscious. And it is so much better than watching TV and integrating those messages. So it's very, very important that I do that. So I came up with this visual I'm so pleased with to show you what's going on. So let's pretend this is my brain. And yes, I know it's empty. So every time I read the book, listen to CD, listen to tapes, I am filling up my brain with what Deborah refers to as spiritual antibodies. Okay? Let's pretend this piece of packing popcorn is a spiritual antibody. Okay? So when I wake up in the morning and I listen to Valerie's CD, I'm filling my brain and my soul up with all these wonderful messages like rise above, see through the veil, leave the past behind you. And then I get in the car and I drive Tiana to school, my daughter, and I get even more messages like just show up. I am enough. And right before I go to bed, I get these wonderful messages that come through Deborah through Spirit. My particular favorite, because it just relieves me of so much pressure, is I put these visions in your head, I will tell you how to manifest them. Okay, so here's my brain. It's full of spiritual antibodies, okay? So watch what happens when one of my old messages comes in. And it's represented by a dark block, okay? And it goes something like this. Mary, who do you think you are, thinking you can do all this? So in it comes, and watch what happens. It gets completely overridden by the spiritual. Just gets neutralized and overpowered. And the more antibodies that I have, the less impact these messages have. All right. So, if you want to live your life differently, saturate yourself with the messages you want to live by. And knock, 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 you've let my spirit out. Thank you.
This ministry always. Yes. Oh boy, let's just bless offerings with